Hey guys, my name is Lilly and today I'm finally at the archery range again, and actually I didn't shoot my bow for a couple of months now, and that's because I was sick. I didn't know what it was, so most of the time I stayed at home. Now I know that it's diabetes, and now I'm feeling better since I'm on the ketogenic diet. But still, I haven't shot my bow in months, and I lost all of my muscles for bow and arrow shooting. And I probably also lost a lot of my accuracy. And because of this long pause, I thought that would be a great video on archery, on how you can restart again with archery if you had a long pause because of sickness or injury. So what I've done now is I've taken the bow of my spouse and I have put on some limbs which are not as strong. So today I'm shooting 30-pound limbs, but normally when I'm trained I'm shooting 35-pound limbs. Also, I've done the same with my arrow tips. So I've taken out my 145 grain tips and today I'm shooting 125. So the arrow is a little bit lighter and the bow is not as strong as before. And this is really important because otherwise you're going to injure your shoulder or your other shoulder, so it's important that you always start with a low draw weight. I can highly recommend this bow here. This is by the company Samick. It's the Samick Sage. It's a very popular bow, and I have to say I have tried dozens and dozens of bows, but this one is the best of all. It's accurate, it shoots straight. Also now the arrow is flying out horizontally and it's not getting a kick by the shelf. And honestly, I had a couple of bows that did that, and with those other bows I had to knock this high. So that's not good, of course. This is perfect, so it's shooting straight, no left and right mistakes, no up and down mistakes, and this is why I can highly recommend this bow. Right now this goes for 100 euros here in Austria. Okay, so first of all, it's important that you start shooting at a very close target. It's no use to you if you shoot at 30 meters if you are a beginner. So start at very close distances and then from there you work your way backwards. Okay, this here is a really nice chart by a friend of mine. He's written a book about archery, and here you can see how your stance should be when you are shooting a bow. So first of all, you want to stand in a 90 degrees angle to the target. So this would be preferred. And yeah, you can have 3 fingers underneath the knock point, or you can have 1 finger above the knock point. This is how I'm shooting, and that's really personal preference. Now some people are holding the bow with a 35 degrees angle like this. Now that's fine if you want to do that, but you can also hold the bow like that, so it's really just personal preference. The most important thing is though that you anchor always at the same spot in your face. The hand is touching the face, and this way you will get really accurate results. Now also when you're shooting, you don't only have to pull back the string, but also you should push the bow forward, and this way you get really stable. Down to the left. Okay. Okay guys, so I just tried out the bow at 20 meters and I gotta say the arrow fell way down. So I had to aim like 45 centimeters higher than usual, which is crazy. Down here there's a target at 24, 25. Now let's take a shot and let's see if I can hit it or not. Too high. Oh my god. Okay. 3 shots. 3. It's really really bad. Okay, the first arrow was too high. That's because I overcorrected the bow, because I thought, oh, it's going to fall down so much, so I overcorrected myself. The second arrow was to left, so when I'm releasing the arrow, I'm pushing the bow to the left, and this is when you get this left mistake. Now usually I don't make this mistake anymore, but because I haven't shot the bow in such a long time, this mistake is now coming back and I really have to work on it. Alright guys, so I really do think that 30 pounds is not enough to make a good survival and hunting bow. Yes, at very short distances, up to 15 meters, very accurate, but from then on the arrows are going to fall down quite a lot. Now what you could do is you could switch to some very thin arrows with extra light tips. Some target shooters are doing that, and then of course you would have a better flight curve, but honestly I don't want that, because for hunting arrows I want to have a robust arrow and also a heavier tip for good penetration. Oh, I hit the iron bar. Oh my god. That sound was maybe coming from the iron bar, which is underneath the target. Oh yeah. My tip is really blunt now. So close! Small targets are the worst. Okay. I have to take a break. That's the first time in a long time. Usually I run through this parkour. But I can really feel that I lost a lot of muscles because of staying at home so much and because of lying on the couch. So I'm so glad that I now found out what I had, because I was so tired all of the time, especially after eating. I went on the couch, could not move for 2 to 3 hours, and then I still felt trash. So now I'm on a ketogenic diet and I'm feeling better. I'm feeling normal again, but still I'm missing so many muscles. So all of the clothes that I have, this trouser here usually is a little bit too tight, but now it's almost too big for me. So yeah, so now my plan is that I get fit again, do a lot of training, physical training, but also archery again, and I want to go out in the forest more, camp again. And yeah, I'm finally glad that I'm back. It was a really hard time for me. Anyways, this rucksack here I'm really happy with. This is my new archery backpack, and I like it because it has a perfect size. So it's slim enough so that it doesn't come into my way when I'm shooting the bow. And it's not too big, not too small. It has like 15 liters. So I can highly recommend this backpack. It's also not too expensive. Tasmanian Tiger. And I will put the link to this backpack into the description below. And what I have inside here is a really good first aid kit. Then I have the square here. This is going to measure the brace height. This is really important, especially because beginners don't know that. You always want to set up your bow with the same brace height. And I usually set up my bow with 20.5 centimeters. So you stick this into the handle and then you read off the number here. Now my bow has lost a little bit of brace height. I started with 20.5 and now I'm down to 20. So for accuracy, you really want to recheck your brace height every now and then to make sure that you're still shooting the same. Because 5 millimeters difference here is like 10 centimeters difference out there. So it's really important that this distance is always the same. Now the other things that I'm taking with me is a bowstringer, very important if you love your limbs. Then here I have a notebook pouch, so if I want to take notes. And yeah, here I got a Leatherman. It's always good to have one with you. And this is just yeah, some extra stuff like hex keys, extra bowstring, knock point plier, bowstring wax, more knock points. Yeah, then I got some extra knocks and also a lighter and a small compass in case I get lost. Okay, so this is the kit that I've developed in the 17 years that I've been shooting bows. And this is my most recent addition. It's a leather pad which has some sheep wool at the inside, and it's really nice for the cold winter if you want to sit down. And yeah, it's really nice. It folds like this and goes at the back of my backpack. If you really want to get better at archery, this is the best exercise that I can recommend to you. So you want to start very close to your target, shoot at your target, then move 3 steps farther away, shoot again, move 3 steps farther away, shoot again, and again, and again, and again. Okay, so these were the first 3 arrows, and yeah, those were pretty easy to shoot because it's quite a close distance, right? But then at the 4th arrow I had to aim considerably higher, like here or so, and with this arrow I aimed even higher, and that happens at a distance of 16 plus meters. So up to 15 meters it goes like this, and then this is probably 18 and this is maybe 20. So the problem is, if you switch bows, if you switch arrows with a different weight, it's always going to be different, and you have to yeah, learn how your arrows are flying from the start. So this is why I'm always now staying with my arrows, and actually I'm using some quite cheap arrows. These here, Cross-X Madeira, they are cheap but they are really stable, and honestly I heard that most of the arrows are produced in the same factories anyway. They just put on a different brand. Yeah, I shoot carbon arrows. I'm a fan of carbon arrows because they are really straight and they fly straight. Once, a long time ago, I shot wooden arrows, but yeah, the shooting picture was never good, so then I changed to carbon, and it's just the best of the best. Nice. This one was the furthest away, so you can see that the arrow is falling down. But yeah, that's a really nice grouping. Nice. So that was my last shot and it was really good. I'm happy with it. It's the perfect ending for my archery day. I actually shot in the center kill. Nice. Okay guys, so this is it for the day. If you are still looking for a bow which is cheap and good quality, get this one here. Get this bow and get limbs with 30, 35 and 40 pounds. So you can slowly work up your way to a higher draw weight. And today I shot 30. It's okay up to 15 meters, but further than that, yeah, it's a little bit weak. So yeah, I will go on more parcours now to get my old form back, my old strength of course, and then I will switch to my other bow again. So thank you for watching guys, and stay tuned till next time.